Hey y'all, welcome to my YouTube channel where I make videos about the things that I make in my shop and kind of bring you along for the journey. In today's video, we're going to be making a Damascus chef knife from start to finish. And you'll get to learn what forging fail led to this final product that you saw in the video post. Today's video was sponsored by myself. I'm just getting this started, so if you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. It would help me make videos in the future. My plan for this video is to kind of narrate what's going on a little bit as I go. I'll try not to talk too much. Most of it will just be the forging and the finishing and stuff, but I'll explain things as I go. This particular knife started out with a 1-inch square by not quite 3-inch long bar of 160 layer Damascus steel. If you want to see how I make the steel, you can see that in the previous video. Initially, I was planning on making an integral bolster chef knife, and for whatever reason, I don't know, I had just gotten back from vacation, and my brain was not 100% into what I was doing at the time, and I just wasn't happy with the bolster, and ended up not making it an integral bolster. I ended up taking a break midway through making this knife, and kind of reevaluating. Basically what happened is I forged the bolster too small. I forged too far up into it, and it just wasn't coming out how I liked, and that hasn't happened in a while, so I hate to say it, but it was good practice, and the knife came out great in the end, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm glad that I went the route that I did. But you'll see, as the video gets going here, that I ended up squishing the bolster that I had and bringing it down to a regular hidden tang chef knife. I ended up cutting off a bunch of material that was the previous tang and forging the new tang in. Once the forging is done, it's time for some profile grinding, cleaning up the tang transition with a file guide, and drilling a hole in the tang, and then getting it ready for heat treat. Once I finish heat treating it, hardened and tempered, I go ahead and grind my bevels. I start at 36 grit and go up to 240 grit. I think it's roughly 240 grit. It's a Trizact A65, and I usually do that highest grit on the Ameribraid rotary platen. Just makes it a little more even and helps me avoid a belt bump when I'm using the higher grit belts. After that, it's time to fit up all the pieces for the handle. On this particular knife, I used some ivory micarta for the bolster and some nice ringed gidgee for the handle, the main part of the handle. I use a 5-minute epoxy so that I can bed the tang. Basically, I'll wax the tang and then seat it and glue it all together so that everything is one solid piece that I can take apart and fit perfectly later down the line. And you'll see I use a hairdryer just to kind of heat up the wax on the tang, and it helps slide it right out. But that makes it easy to work on individual pieces. And like this one, I did like an heirloom fit up with the bolster. So I started initially shaping the handle like I normally would, but once that was done, I took the bolster off and went and just finished it up with a higher grit belt. I think I used a 400 grit aluminum oxide grinding belt to finish shaping the bolster before hand sanding. After finishing up the handle, I went ahead and rounded over the spine of the blade and the finger choil behind the heel of the blade. And then I hand sanded the blade from 400 to 600 grit, and that's it, finished. It's ready to etch. Etch in ferric chloride to start. Usually, I don't know what my mixture is anymore. It's been so long since I've started it, but it's some mixture of water and ferric chloride. And so I usually do 3 cycles of that for around 10 minutes and wipe it off with some 2000 grit sandpaper in between each dip. And then after that, I finish the etch in a coffee solution. It's just Folgers instant coffee, but really, 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 really strong. And then it's ready to glue together and start sharpening and finishing the hand, with wax and all that stuff. And it's ready to go. So if you like what you see here and you want to support the channel, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, all that fun stuff. And then you can head over to jleesknives.com. I've got anything from little pieces of swag like hats and hoodies and t-shirts. You can order hammers, just like the one that I use for lighter stuff. All that stuff really helps. I'm also taking custom orders, so who knows, if you order a knife custom order, you might even see it in one of these videos coming up someday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.